Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to walk around the outside of the coach first, and then we'll cover everything on the outside. We'll go over everything on the inside for you after that. Okay? So, you guys had experience with these coaches before? Yeah, you have a trade. Was your trade gas or diesel?
Gas.
Gas? Okay. On the diesel, your fuel fills up in the front here, so you have one on each side. It doesn't matter what side of the pump you pull up on, you can fill up either way. The only thing is, you're not able to fill at the same time to try and get out of there faster, because one of you is going to lose and get a bath in diesel fuel. So, one at a time.
Go ahead and die, yeah.
Even though it is just one tank you're sharing. Okay? Down in here you have your hydraulic pump location, and then your propane tank. Propane is full. We just gotta crack this guy on. And now we can put it inside.
Is there a manual override if the pump fails?
Is there a manual override if the pump fails? Okay. On the back side of the pump, you have these 4 lines here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 lines are for your jacks.
Right.
On the back side of those, which you can't see, is a switch just like on this solenoid over here.
Right.
Push on that, on the other side of this of course, and you can actually manually reach, oh not really manually, but it'll take the pressure off the hydraulic line and then the jack springs will pull it back up.
Okay.
So that's your manual override right there. Down here, just storage. Box from when they upgraded the toilet for you, so that way you just have the information and everything. Your central vac and everything, you have all of your attachments in this bag here. You have 1 bag in here and 1 bag inside the vacuum. Your Magnum energy management system, that's your converter / inverter right there. That's the location of it. We'll play with it and it's actually manipulated inside. Alright. Mud dauber screens are installed. Very, very good add-on. Protects the unit from bees, spiders, mice, stuff like that, getting in there, gumming up the works, so to speak, preventing your appliances from working. Little $20 accessory right there, just kind of helps protect your investment, and a lot better than over $250 or more in labor if anything needs to be taken apart, cleaned out, fixed, repaired, stuff like that. So that's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, we were inundated by stink bugs.
Ooh.
And that saved us.
Yeah, that's another one. I always forget about them. Alright, so here we just have the outside TV. You do have the infrared receiver right over here, so you can access everything inside the coach without having to go inside, and if you want to watch a movie under the awning, you could. And then the TVs actually are using joysticks on the bottom now, so if you needed to manually do anything, it's all done off this little joystick that's manipulated right there in the center. Coming up next, we have just another storage compartment. You have extra floor tiles down in here, and then your central vac itself is right here. Also, the lights in your basement compartment are all operated on their own switch. Alright, and we have 1 bag installed. There you go. Once the hose makes contact with the central vacuum system, it will turn on, but it won't do so until you plug the hose in. Alright. Okay.
Where does the hose go to? Is there a place that lends it?
Inside.
So if you needed to vacuum in the basement compartment, if you spilled something and needed to clean up, you can do so right through here, and it's just going to vacuum out the inside here. Then of course you'll have an access panel inside to do the same thing too.
Okay.
Yep. Second furnace, so furnace exhaust 1 and 2, back of the fridge, access panel for technicians, there's nothing back there for you. Your gravity water fill is right over here, so just sticking the hose in and fill until it spits back at you, or you're looking at the gauge inside saying it's full enough, we could shut it off, that kind of thing. Your front 2 slides, before we go too much farther, this one, you have a track down in here. Just a little dry lube in there, and that way it just cuts it and slide in and out a little bit easier. These slides in the back, they're electric. They're the Lippert Swintech in-wall slide design system. Tracks do not need to be lubricated, just clean and dry when you put them in. So if you're washing the RV, just can of compressed air in the tracks real quick, just blow them out, and then you can bring it back in. Alright?
If it's wet outside?
If it's wet and it's raining, you're fine, just bring it in. They allow for that kind of variable there, but it's more like when you're washing it. You don't want to let a bunch of gunk build up in there and then gum up the works as you bring it in and out kind of thing.
That door doesn't close all the way.
We'll take a look at it in just a second. Chassis batteries are right here. Chassis battery disconnect is right up there. So that's just your battery location.
Okay, when I store this in our mines with the winter, I have to show a disconnect to the batteries. That would take the coach and the motor battery at the same time?
This is just the motor.
This is just the motor?
Yep, just the motor. Your house batteries are on the other side and have a similar disconnect setup feature on it as well.
Okay, so which way goes to disconnect?
It's just a knob. If you lift that wire, you can see green. I believe you got to turn it towards you. So rotate the knob towards you. Other way. There you go. And now they're off.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
Jack, is that closing all the way for you? Oh, yeah.
Yep. One thing about these doors is they have a two-stage latch system. If the first latch catches but the second one doesn't, you just knee into it and the second latch clicks, completing the door latching. Okay. It's down in here, a little storage compartment in the back side. You have an adult, one person at a time going up on the roof to do your walk-around inspections and everything. So it is service walkable. It's not party walkable. Just one at a time on the ladder. Okay. You're still going to check the caulking and everything around the vents, the air conditioner, stuff like that. And it's very slippery when wet up there because you got the one-piece roof and everything. Very, very slippery. So be careful when you're out there doing your inspections and maintenance. Engine access back here. Not much access to it, but somewhere back there there's several squirrels running in wheels, so we'll be all good there.
Rubber bands.
Yep, rubber bands, everything. So over here you have your air filter gauge, oil fill, diagnostic plug for a technician to plug into the engine so they can see what's going on, antifreeze, power steering fluid, transmission oil, and then engine oil dipstick is right there. And that's actually all you get access to in this panel. Any questions?
Access to the motor is from underneath?
From underneath or inside in the bedroom area. Yep. You have the Suburban hot water tank. So, flip a switch, lights itself on the inside with propane. Flip this switch down here, and you have one more inside for the electric. Okay? Tiffin actually sets it up with an additional switch inside, but there is always the one switch on the outside for Suburban. Alright, you do have the pressure release valve right here, so you can pull on that, take the pressure off the tank. Then over here you have your push to resets. Those are just fail-safes on the hot water tank. If it gets too hot, one of those two will trip, telling you that the hot water tank is getting too hot, something in it has failed, needs to be brought in for service. This is for the electric side, and that's for the propane side. If that should trip if the water reaches 180 degrees. Okay.
Yep.
Then you guys have an anode rod right here is your drain plug. Have you used one before?
Yep.
Okay.
I have the socket in the other coach.
Good. Alright. Down in here behind this black panel you'll just get access to the air filter if you want to do your own maintenance. Other than that, just storage. Okay, down in here we have your 50 amp power supply cord, your automatic transfer switch / built-in surge guard. Covers you against high voltage surges but not lower voltage surges, not enough power going to the unit kind of thing. That's why a lot of customers will add an additional surge guard in line with the coach to cover them on both sides of the scale. And then you have your block heater for your diesel. Just got to get plugged into this outlet here.
Okay.
And then you have your on-off switch up in the dash to do it too. But of course the unit has to be plugged into power to get it to work too. Alright, and then here we have your diesel exhaust fluid. Are you familiar with diesel exhaust fluid?
I don't need them on my tractors, but I understand the blue DEF fluid.
Yeah, it's just emissions 2012 and newer. Everything that uses diesel has to have that on it to reduce hydrocarbon pollution and everything, so everything burns up a little bit cleaner. A long story short with this one, do not shut your engine off if you run out. If you run out of diesel exhaust fluid, the engine gets put into what's known as limp mode, reduces performance until you can get over to the side of the road or a rest stop and put more in. So it's always a good idea to carry some extra with you, that way in case you do run into one of those situations. And then of course you can also usually get it at any auto parts store really. We sell it here. Any place that deals in it can get it, and you can get it on some of the truck stops too, right on the pump, which is nice.
Yeah. It's a big tank.
Yeah. You should be able to get a couple full fuel tanks on this coach out of one tank of those. I've heard 3 to 4, but I think it's actually closer to 2 to 3. Down in here, we have everybody's favorite compartment. Alright, so down over here you do have your low point drains, okay, used for winterization, soak dispenser, black tank flushing system. Have you used one before on the coaches? Okay, just a little friendly reminder, your black tank valve has to be open when you dump it because you don't want to fill and pressurize the tank. City water connections right here, hot water tank bypass, making winterization on this thing really easy right now.
Yeah.
Bypass is there. They even give you a hose for winterizing with the water pump. You just hook it up right down over here on the inside of the pump, stick it in the jug of antifreeze and suck it through. Nice and easy.
Yes, it is.
Alright, outside shower, perfect for starting your day off right, showering outside, scaring the neighbors. Actually, if you happen to make a mess dumping the tanks, you can actually rinse off doing that, or if you're at the beach, sand, mud, stuff like that, rinsing that off. The dogs, you can rinse that off there too.
Right.
Tank fill, city water. You have to have this on city water to use the water in the holding tank or to use the water at the campground. Tank fill is just for filling the tank. A lot of people often forget about the word fill at that, and they kind of just look at it quickly, read the word tank and leave it there, and then they don't get the full pressure from the pump. So that you need to have on city water to use the coach.
So if I want to fill the coach tank, I come over here, drop it, other side, fill.
Then come back here and put that nozzle.
Nope, you can actually fill right from your city water connection is what that does.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you can fill up from either side. You have your gravity on the passenger side, or on this side you have your city water connection. Let's say you're at the campground, you're hooked up, you can fill your water tank before you leave.
Excellent, okay.
That way you don't have to worry about if the hose is going to go to the other side to fill it.
Yep.
Water pump switch. And then you have your water filter here.
Filters in?
Depends on the technician that prepped it, but usually not.
Okay.
Usually they leave that for you to install because we don't really know what you're doing with these things when you pick them up and when you're going to use them. So usually they are not installed, but some of the technicians do install them, yes.
Is there water in the coach now?
There is water in the coach now, yes. So we'll play with the water and everything, okay? Water filter wrench, use this to take the filter housing off.
Yep.
Do not use it to put it on. You don't want to over tighten and crack it
Yeah, Jack.
because it is just plastic.
No comments from the peanut gallery.
And then of course Tiffin does give you a free sewer hose. Not the best, but it's a free sewer hose.
Is there a port to bring that out?
Right down through here. And this piece does rotate. So if you
there
wanted to
go.
go straight down through here, you can. Or if you want to just go right out through here into the dump station, you can do that too. This piece does move.
Excellent.
Black tank, gray tank, they're color coded, making it nice and easy for you. Okay. Other side of your storage compartment over here. On this slide, you've got the 2 beams on the bottom with the teeth. You spray those also down with a dry lubricant, so that way they move in and out nice and easy.
How often?
A couple times a year, maybe 2-3 times.
Okay. Do we have that stuff, Jack?
Yep.
Another storage compartment here. Here is where you're going to get your house batteries. If you ever have to replace any of them, there is a wiring diagram right over here on the door. And then they are in a pull-out tray. You currently have 4 batteries. There is room for 6, but you usually don't get 6 unless you go with the residential fridge option. House battery disconnect is right there though. Yep, this is more of your long-term disconnect because there is also a 12-volt disconnect by the entry door. That's more, the one by the entry door is short-term, this is long-term. Okay. Up in here we have the other fuel fill. Chassis, fuses and everything down in here. Windshield washer fluid, that's probably the most important thing to know where it is on the outside. Everything's labeled as a what's what too, which is nice. Yep.
Don't want to lose that.
No. Your generator doesn't slide out or anything, so we have a Cummins own-in quiet diesel 8,000 watt generator. There's plenty of power to run everything in this coach. Coolant fill, oil fill, and you do have a breaker over here on this side of the generator. Try to remember you have that breaker here because once in a while that breaker trips, giving you power issues inside the coach or no power coming off the generator. That's probably why. You do have a start-stop switch out here but it's more for a technician if they were servicing the coach. All right.
Bag is.
Oh, that's a wiring harness in there for another option that's not available on this coach, but it's an option on the chassis on another unit.
Look at the horn you get.
Ooh, yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to get that off of my car.
we're going to start in the back and work our way up towards the front on the inside.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
On the inside, first up, when you step up here, watch your head. It hurts. I've done it. I still do it once in a while. It hurts. So this door here, it slides. It doesn't pull. Okay. Your Splendid washer and dryer. So washer's down here, dryer's up there. Dryer, they recommend you only try and use on 50 amps because of the power draw off the dryer. But real easy to do. Low heat, high heat adjustment is this button right here. And then set your dial, hit start. That's all you really have to do.
Is it on low now?
It is currently on high heat now.
I'll push that, yeah.
There you go, now it's on low. Yep.
Thank you.
It does have a couple pre-programmed settings in there, like auto high heat, easy iron, and air fluff, and that's just using these little pictures over here. Just set the dial over there, let it go, and it'll do its thing for you. It's a little pre-programmed cycle.
Okay.
Your washing machine, we turn it on. Now, you have numbers and letters over here, and this dial corresponds to those, and it'll actually change the time, the spin cycle. Sometimes it also changes the water temperature, but if you wanted to adjust it, like right now it's on 11, which is delicate, it says it's going to wash for an hour and 4 minutes. If I want to adjust the spin cycle, I can go down, but I can never go up higher than what it's pre-programmed at. Okay? Your stuff is all going to go in up here, so your detergent, your softener, and all that stuff. And then just hit start, and then that's all you got to do.
Okay.
I think
Is there shut-offs anywhere? Shut-off valves?
Yeah, they're in the closet. I'll show you. They recommend when you use those, have your gray tanks open because this just uses a lot of water. Okay?
You get in trouble for that, don't you?
The access to the shut-offs is in that opening in the back side of the closet there.
Okay.
And just over on this side, you have your 110 breakers. for all of your 110 appliances and everything. And then your 12-volt resettable fuses. No more replacing fuses, so all you gotta do is push the button and pop it back in, and that's it. On the back wall there you have your model serial sheet. That's information on the coach, as well as all the model numbers, serial numbers, and manufacturer names of the different appliances, like your slide awnings, your patio awnings, your televisions. It's got all that information in there. So just real nice information to have. Makes your lives easier, makes our lives easier, because it's easier to get to than trying to take stuff off of places, and especially when you can't. Dual USB charging outlets on each side of the bed, so very nice feature there, and of course the bed does lift up for storage. Okay.
Watch your fan.
Head as we step down. And even though you know it's there, you know you're gonna do it.
Yep. It's awesome just to get a hammer and hit yourself anyway.
Yeah.
See, look, that you can travel with that open.
Window.
Very nice.
Just pull the red handles, and it is hinged at the top, so just push and you can climb out to safety. Television in the back here. Does have the joystick feature on the bottom too, which is nice. And then over here on this side, we have, again, your door lights, your panel lights, a master light switch back here. So you're getting ready for bed, and I forgot to turn off the entry light. I'm just going to hit the master instead of going back up there. It's a nice little feature there. Ceiling fan, high and low. Just push the button again to shut it off. The little green light indicates that the particular item is on. I'll turn that back on.
Yeah.
He's colorblind.
Oh.
The light's on.
The light's on. Alright, thermostat back here works exactly the same as the one up in the front, and I'll point out the one up in the front, but it's easier to go over this one here. Right now it's in auto for the fan mode, and that's actually what's recommended for it to stay at for using the furnace. Cool for the AC. Gas heats your propane furnace. Remember, you have two of them, so this will control one of them. The other thermostat controls the other one. And then electric heat. So for the heat strip or heat pump in your air conditioner, it's just meant to maintain the temperature in here, not raise it. So it just takes the chill out of the air kind of thing. So that's what the electric heat's mainly used for in here. But then of course you have your fan speed adjustment. The reason you want the auto feature for the fan mode is with the thermostat, it's a Coleman air conditioner, it's a Coleman thermostat. Sometimes they pair together with the different manufacturers and they cause problems for the furnace. Your furnace is made by Suburban, and we've actually had instances more with the Dometic thermostats, but where it overrides the furnace, and either the furnace doesn't light or the fan kicks on in the furnace, but the AC fan kicks on at the same time. So it's just best to leave it in auto. Okay? Any questions back here in the bedroom?
Nope, good.
Alright. This does lift up too for storage, so you can actually use it as a closet. On the bottom over here you do have auxiliary inputs for another video type device, like maybe a gaming system, because these would be Blu-ray, or these are DVD, sorry. So these are DVD monitors here if you wanted to watch a Blu-ray movie, or the kids did, but they had a gaming system they brought with them to do it. You could tap in down there, and then it would show up there. They each also have their own individual light, which is nice. I think it's LED in here too, so it's really bright.
Wow,
And there's your
that's
bunk
nice.
ladder. Okay, so you have your shower door. It is real glass, so make sure it is locked while you travel, so that way it doesn't swing out, slam, and shatter, because it's really expensive to replace. Okay.
We're bad at that.
I'm bad at that.
I said we're bad at that.
Down over here you have your master resettable GFI outlet. That is the one reset location in the coach. Alright, so that is just where you're going to reset the outlets. No matter where you trip it, inside or outside, it gets reset here.
Plate's crooked.
This plate?
Yep.
Okay, I'll see if they can adjust it for you. The toilet,
There you go.
nice elongated bowl. Step on the pedal lightly and puts water in there. It helps if the water pumps on. Always make sure you have water over top of that seal so that way it doesn't dry out, because if it dries out it cracks and it won't hold water. And like I said, that blocks your smells from coming out of the tank. So always make sure you do that. And then you guys know about the importance of chemicals and everything.
Right.
The black tank with water, using RV safe toilet paper, all that fun stuff. So you guys are all good there. Okay, so down here on the floor we have your central vac input for the interior of the coach. Alright, so once the hose makes contact, the vacuum turns on.
You mean up here, once we plug in the hose?
Yep.
We don't need to worry about underneath there. That's just if we want to vacuum that underneath out.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
And the hoses are down in that bag?
The hoses are down in that bag, and it should reach from one side to the other.
You mean from that end all the way to that end?
Yep, that's why this is in the center.
Wow.
Center back.
Yep. Propane alarm / carbon monoxide leak detector, a 2-in-1 combination unit that is extremely sensitive. Scented cleaning chemicals, spray suntan lotion, hairspray, and low battery voltage in the house batteries can set that off. Bleach and ammonia, should you use them to clean in here, can damage that sensor. You can use them to clean in here though, don't get me wrong, just make sure it's
vinegar water.
Yeah, just make sure it's well ventilated, because if you did use those for whatever reason, the fumes are hazardous to you and the sensor. Okay? And then you guys are probably taking dogs with you because you guys go to dog shows and stuff.
Right.
So, what kind of dogs do you take?
Crappions.
Not familiar with that. Is that big, little?
Little.
Okay. Are they on the gassy side?
No.
Because farts will set that detector off.
Good to know.
It is good to know.
Yeah, Jack, you better stay inside.
Dogs are down at this level. They have been known to set it off, and yes, people can set it off too. It's been thoroughly tested and proven by a 9-year-old during a walkthrough. Up in here, this guy tells you just what your fridge is doing, okay? And then your controls for your fridge are actually all found up here. So right now you're on auto now. Temperature set, there's a 1 through 5 scale, 5 being the coldest setting. In case you forget, directions are right here to let you know how that works.
Great. Make sure that she has food available.
Auto automatically defaults to electricity, will switch to propane automatically should you lose power. So very nice. You do have the ice maker in here too. You just gotta drop down the bar, and when it gets cold enough, it'll make ice for you.
Alright, is there a shut-off valve for that?
It would be on the back side of the fridge, but typically when the guys winterize these things in the shop here, they make a batch when it's hooked up to antifreeze. That way you know that it's going to be protected and everything.
If I just wanted it shut off and not used at all?
Yeah, it would be access through the back access panel of the fridge. Yep, there should be a water valve back there. Of course, you do have the lock here. When the key is in the on position, this will lock itself after a couple seconds, and then you just have to slide it over. So if you need to get something from the fridge while you're traveling, like a drink or something like that, that's just what you're going to have to do.
Okay.
And your manuals for your fridge are inside there.
Keep tinkering.
Okay, slide switches are right here. Because these two slides are the Lippert Swintech slide design system, you gotta keep the button held in the entire time the slide moves. If you keep starting and stopping it over time, the two motors that work together to bring the slide room in and out get out of sync, and then the slide goes out cocked and you can cause damage. Okay, so always a good rule to have is once it starts moving, it doesn't stop. If you notice that the dog's leash is on the floor, of course you can stop the slide, pick the leash up, and continue moving the slide. That's okay. Once in a while, it's an over time thing. If you make a habit of it, you can cause damage down the road. So that's why the best thing to do is button held in the entire time. Okay? Once the slide is all the way in or out, they shut themselves down because they recognize pressure as a stopping point. But it's a good idea to keep the finger on the button for an extra 3 to 5 seconds to make sure they're still synced up talking like they're supposed to. Okay? Alright. And then your front slide switches are up here. There's these two on the bottom, and then this is just light switches here. Your vent fan and your vent lid. So that's just going to raise and lower the vent and turn the fan on, which is just all power. Yep. Your monitor panel is located up here. Okay, propane's full, your black tank is empty, your gray tank is empty, your fresh tank is 1/3 full, and your battery voltage is at 14 right now. Water pump is on, water heater fault. That's letting you know if there is a problem with the hot water tank when it's trying to light on propane. Gas water heater, electric water heater. Choose whichever one you want to use. Alright. And again, the little light indicates that it's on. Okay?
Close the lid.
Yep. You can let go. Now the fan will shut itself down once the lid closes, and it also has the on-off button there. And then for your fantastic fan, you do have a temperature probe up in here, so this is the control for it.
Yep.
That clicking noise you're hearing is when the fan will kick on and off based on the temperature. This one also brings air in or sucks air out. If it's in the middle of the two, your fan won't turn on no matter how many switches you have on also. And then you have your fan speed adjustment there. I mean, technically speaking, this fan has 4 on-off switches. So you have the thermostat, you have the switch on the wall, the speed dial, and you have the in and out if you happen to have it in the center of the two. Alright. All these remotes, dear God, what are we going to do with all of these remotes?
How do you know which is which?
That's what I'm here for.
Oh, we need tape.
Okay, so
What's this one for?
that's just a 12-volt outlet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you do have touch-up paint for the coach, so if you do need anything bodywork-wise,
I'm good.
touch-up paint, it's a lot easier to match this than what's on the coach at the time, so it just makes bodywork a lot easier. So keep this with you, take it someplace, or like in the house when you get it home, that way it's stored where the weather isn't going to affect it. Okay? This guy right here, HD View 360 mini state antenna. This is direction, and it's got the 2 red arrows. That's going to adjust the direction of your omnidirectional antenna to adjust for direction for signal strength. Okay? You can kind of hear it turning. There is no crank up, crank down antenna on this coach. It doesn't sit higher than the air conditioner, so all you have to do is push the button and it'll adjust the direction for signal strength while you're watching TV. Okay? This one, with no labeling on it, this one is for your backup camera. Yes, you have a remote for your backup camera. You can only mainly use it when the key's on anyways, but you have a remote for it if you want to use it. Okay?
Why would you use this? Why would you need that?
The monitor comes with it. Me personally, I think it's kind of a waste, but if you're familiar with how the remote's set up, instead of having to look over and push the button, you can have the remote in your hand.
Okay.
And I know for a fact the mode button is going to browse you through the different cameras, so you push the mode button and it's going to cycle through. So left camera, right camera, rear camera. So instead of having to reach over and try and find the right spot to push on it, you can do it off the remote. So it does have a nice feature when you think about it, at least. Then here you have a Panasonic theater system. This is your movie player. I want to say this is going to be Blu-ray too, because that's what Tiffins usually use. They've been using a lot of LGs lately, which is also a Blu-ray player, but the Panasonic Blu-ray player remote is right here, and we just haven't come across the player yet. All of your televisions are made by LG, okay? So that means one remote will work any one of the televisions. These remotes are not smart remotes. They are just your regular remote, so they're meant for the other TVs. But this one behind you is the actual smart TV. So on that remote, there will be a blue button. Sorry.
I can see blue.
Okay, alright. So there will be a blue button that says smart on it. You push that button and it'll bring out the available apps on the TV like Netflix and YouTube and stuff like that. You just got to have internet connectivity set up with the TV. To do that, you go into your settings. You go down all the way to the little picture of the planet here. Network connection. Start connection. Now it's going to look for the different networks and everything available. We do have access to a wireless one, so if we select it, it'll again begin to connect to that network. So if you guys had a wired connection somehow in here, or a mobile hotspot with like the cell phones, or even wired Wi-Fi access at the campground, then that's how you're going to set it up to use this. Okay? And we can actually turn that off now. But this remote works that TV. It works the TV in your bedroom. It works the TV outside. It works them all. And let's just be different. Turn that one off. Okay. And then of course DirecTV is self-explanatory. It's a DirecTV remote there. Alright.
This has DirecTV.
Did you guys get the satellite on it?
I don't think we got the satellite on.
Alright, well it does come with a receiver from Tiffin for DirecTV, whether you get the satellite or not. So that you do have. If it doesn't have the satellite, which we'll find out when we get up there, I'll go over all that stuff when we get up there for you. Okay.
Can we add satellite if we want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll cover it when we get up to the actual receiver there for you. But yes, it is possible to have it. You're going to be preset for it at least, so. Okay. This table is going to break down to a bed so somebody can sleep here. Standard camper trike, available in all makes and models. There's a little bar down here on the bottom. You're going to turn that, and then down goes the table.
We never did that.
Table goes all the way up. Bar just goes back over, and now your table will not go down. You're going to have to slide these cushions back before you do it, and then these two cushions on the for your seat backs will make up your mattress. Okay? Next up, we have the couch bed. Good. Some of the couches actually have a safety catch on there that prevents you from pulling the bed out easily. Yours doesn't though, so that's nice. Real easy to do.
Jack, if you store, this is where you're going to go.
Right down here you have your air mattress. Okay? Everything for the air mattress is built in, so you don't have to connect everything. The only thing you have to connect is plug it in, and then on this little nifty remote here, inflate or deflate, and that's it. And it does have a stop button, and everything tucks in up here in the corner when you're closing it up. When you fold up the mattress, this bar has resistance to it because it's helping to push some of the extra air out of the mattress. Watch your fingers because eventually it gets to a point where it snaps.
Have you snapped your fingers in there?
I've never snapped my fingers, but a customer almost did. This funky little pillow, that's this for napping. Actually, it blocks out this little corner window over here, so that way you get your full privacy effect. All you have to do is wedge it in there.
Oh, that takes the cake there.
And that gives you your privacy.
I was worried about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
You would be, though.
Alright, over here, this is usually the jackknife sofa. Yep, just lifts up and flops down into a bed. You just gotta push down it the rest of the way. And then you do have a little bit of storage, some seat belts, not much though, because you do have heater hoses running underneath there. So if you are going to store anything under there, be careful what you put there. Alright. Extra parts. There's always extra parts when they build these things. This is actually for changing the way your convection oven vents. If you want it to vent in versus out kind of thing.
Does it vent out now?
I believe it does, yeah. Yep, it goes out right now. But yeah, no, they're usually always there. Speaking of your convection oven, it is very proud of itself. It likes to brag. Simply the best. Microwave by default. Okay? Take the metal out to use it like a microwave. Paperwork might not be a bad idea to take out too.
Yeah.
You do have a convection cookbook in there as well, which is
Okay.
nice. But if I want to warm up a cup of coffee for 30 seconds, just hit 30 and then start, and that's all I gotta do. Convection, just follow the prompts. Select your temperature. They're on the top of the numbers there. 400 degrees. Next it'll ask me for my cooking time. 14 minutes and 85 seconds. Why? Because it lets me type it in. So, yeah, then it'll begin to bake at that temperature for you. If you've never used one before, have you? Okay. If you've never used one before, it is going to take some getting used to. Okay, they do cook differently. They cook things a little bit more thoroughly. Actually, a lot better from what I hear too. But it isn't a little bit of adjustment. You're going to have to adjust your cooking times and temperatures and whatnot too. So,
Okay.
a little trial by fire thing. So, don't get too mad if dinner gets ruined once or twice before you
Jen.
figure it out.
Right. I remember we tried baking baked potatoes. It didn't work so well.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Sure. All right. Your cooktop lights itself, kind of. Turn it over light. Hit the spark knob. It comes through, I promise. There it is. Just gotta get the air out. This does have to, or this is one of the things they recommend you do very first thing when you get the camper set up. That way you get all the air out of the propane line, so you can heat your water. You can use your stove, your fridge on propane if you need to.
Yep.
So that should be one of the first things you do when you get the camper set up.
Yep.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Light your stove.
Okay.
It just purges.
Exactly. It purges all the air out of the propane lines and everything for you.
Okay.
When I brought it up from the mine, that's the first thing I do is run the stove.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Alright. Let's check your hot water, see how that's doing. Offer up my hand to the hot water. I don't do this for everybody. Oh, there it is. It is warming up quite nicely. It's not hot yet, but it is getting there, so that's actually nice. Okay.
And we turned the hot water on here.
Yep. So the very top left-hand corner there. Yep, so you can shut that off now. Yep. Cool. We're done with the water too, so shut off your water pump. Alright, so that pretty much covers everything from the seat to the back of the coach. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope.
Alright, that's good.
Receiver. There we go.
Receiver. Okay, yes, Panasonic Blu-ray player, DirecTV receiver, antenna booster, antenna control module. Okay? Up and down is the same thing as left and right on the little remote there, so that just adjusts the direction for signal strength. Okay? Alright, the little antenna booster, that has to be on to get signals to come in off the antenna still. That hasn't changed. If you are hooked into cable though, you need to have that off to get cable. Then the antenna switches over to cable. Alright?
And the cable connection was in the power.
It was in, yeah, I believe on the red it's in with the power. Yep. Because I don't remember seeing it in the water compartment. That's the only two places they put it, is in with the power or in there with the water. Panasonic Blu-ray player has the SD card slot there, the iPod hookup, so you can play music on video files off of those too. Probably more music off the iPod, but the SD card might be able to do videos too. So if you have a digital camera, you can probably take the memory card out and pop it in there and watch the files on there. But it will play DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, and all that fun stuff too. DirecTV receiver. You currently have hooked up in this unit one DirecTV receiver. That will allow you to pull in satellite television, which you do have. So, with DirecTV and the satellite that is on this unit, You will be able to pull in standard definition programming from DirecTV only should you choose to use it. If you went with Dish Network, you'd be able to get high definition and standard definition off the satellite that's on the roof. The reason you can't get high def with DirecTV is because how they broadcast their high def signal. You need to replace the satellite dish that's on the roof with a dish that sells for $2,300 and a couple hours labor to do it. But
I hear the message.
You got the switch here. Now, I'm not trying to sway you from one to another because they each have their own benefits, but your satellite switch is here. All you do is turn it on and off. And you play the waiting game. And there it is. It's not trying to track a satellite signal for DirecTV right now. It's preset for DirecTV in the first place, but if you did decide to change subscribers down the road, all you have to do is flip the dip switch on the satellite and it'll track Dish Network. And of course you'd have to swap the box too. But everything is labeled up there because they do label that stuff for you because they're very nice. And satellite television, you're limited to one channel per receiver. So you can only watch one channel on satellite with that receiver. If you wanted to watch 2 channels at the same time, you have to add a second receiver in.
Right.
Which, again, the wiring's up there, and again, it's all labeled for you and everything too. You will always be limited to one satellite that you're viewing off of. If channels 1 through 100 are on one elevation and 100 to 200 are on another elevation, you can't watch 2 different elevations. You can only watch one. Okay?
Is there a switch to change it from the conventional free TV to DirecTV?
Oh, it's in the TV.
Oh, okay.
It is in the television. All you have to do is this little button on the top that says input.
Right.
And there it is.
Gotcha.
Blu-ray and satellite.
So any of the TVs in here can view the Blu-ray?
Any of them. Everything is all wired together. Tiffin wires everything together. So
you can watch a Blu-ray back there.
You can pop a Blu-ray in up here and watch it back there and watch it up here if you want. You can watch antenna here, satellite back there, Blu-ray outside, however you want to do it. You can get multiple different things to show up. On the antenna, you can have different channels going. You can have different channels going with cable. Just, you can only watch one movie at a time, and you can only watch one satellite television channel at a time. And then in here. Up in here we have the on-off switch for your in-motion satellite dish. So your satellite dish will actually work while you travel down the road. So again, if you have that subscription and everything and you turn it on, it will actually track as you move. Okay? Your Magnum Energy Management System. Okay? This one is one of the best manuals to read because it'll walk you through how to do everything with it. Alright? You can't do anything until you get the backlighting to show up. Okay, so push any button and then it backlights. Light there saying that the charging system is active, and I'm absorb charging right now at 14.4 at 40 amps. Okay, because you're always charging the batteries because you're always taking from the batteries to do stuff at the same time. Inverter on off is this little button down there. Just turns your inverter on and off. So, what do you get on the inverter? I know you'll get the TVs, but what else you'll get after that, I don't know, because they do set all the makes and models up differently. Best thing to do is to turn it off, or turn the inverter on, unplug the coach, and take a cell phone charger, and just go around to each outlet and plug it in, because they don't set up all the outlets on the inverter, but they do set up some of them. So you can find out which ones you're going to get for when you're traveling with the coach then. Okay? And then of course shut it off when you're not using it so you don't kill your batteries, because that will suck your batteries down. And the inverter is turning 12 volts into 110 volts, so you're going from DC to AC, so you can run appliances like a television and stuff like that.
Or turn your generator on.
Or turn your generator on, yeah. AGS, if you go under this menu, that will actually allow you to program the generator to come on and off at different times. Let it run for a set amount of time, like I can program it to only run for 2 hours. Once I turn it on, it'll run for 2 hours, shut itself off. I can set it up for quiet time, so if I'm at a campground that says no loud noises or generators after 9 o'clock, if my battery voltage gets low and my generator is supposed to kick on, it will not, because quiet time is enabled on the generator. So definitely a very, very good manual to read, because it'll walk you through how to set it up, but that's what the AGS is. Setup and tech is more technical information, and then meter just tells you what you're doing, and that's what this is telling us right now. So, very, very good manual to read. Alright. Any questions out there?
Nope.
I don't pay any attention to that.
Okay. Over here, you're going to have access to the passenger fan. You're the only one with control of that. You got the step cover, which is electric, and your map light, which is for you there. USB charging.
I have my own charger.
Yep.
And my own cup holder that you can't stick stuff in.
Yep. And the step cover will support the weight of someone to stand on, so you can get up and like move and everything, which is nice. He's got control over the step cover too. At least it's electric now. It's not air powered, where it just rams out and slams you in the ankles. So at least they're doing that now. Okay, next we're gonna need this brochure that I had grabbed for you guys. Okay. Storage.
Put all your crap in that drawer.
2 drawers.
You get the top one, I'll get the bottom.
Okay. As far as the dash goes, you do have your standard dash setup and everything here as far as thermostats go. So you have the fan and everything, temperature adjust. That's all standard, just like you find in a car. So there's nothing fancy to point out there.
The air conditioner that runs there, is that running off the motor or
Motor.
off the generator?
Motor.
Okay.
This is straight motor stuff.
Okay.
Yep. USB connection, 12-volt outlet, and that's all you got there.
What would you use a 12-volt outlet for?
Phone charger.
You can use it for a phone charger.
USB. Okay.
Yeah, a car charger for something. That's mainly what you would use it for.
Like the GPS thing that you have. Okay.
Map light switch for them. Generator start stop. Hold down the stop button for your generator. At the bottom of the switch lights up orange. I don't know if you can see orange or not. Okay, you're good there.
No, I got the light, yeah.
Yeah, but they just hold start until it fires up. It takes a minute. You don't really hear it trying to turn over because it's diesel.
Oh, okay.
Your nightshade. Gives you privacy in here. All of the rest of your shades are manual. MCD shades, so just very nice there. Solar shades, your sun visor when you travel, so it's just your day shade there. Driver fan, which is mainly meant for defrosting the windshield, and then of course the step cover. Alright, so this switch does have to be on to get your radio to work. Okay? So it doesn't matter if the key's on or the key's off, the switch does have to be on.
What's that switch say?
Radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty easy. Okay, underneath your menu settings, you have access to navigation, CD, because you have a CD slot up there, and your phone, because you can pair your phone up with this thing, which I do know how to do and can show you if you guys would like. You can use a Bluetooth media device like music playing off your phone through the stereo. Pandora, iHeartRadio is also on there, Sirius XM. Pandora and iHeartRadio are internet radio stations that go through the phone to do it, unless you have some kind of wired internet connection with the radio, which you don't. So that would go through your phone. To set up your phone, go into Setup, Bluetooth, and then, hey, we got phones in here already. I wonder if anyone's nearby we can play with. To remove a phone, select it, all the way down to the bottom and remove.
Here's mine.
Okay. Dan's iPhone. Well, it's not me. But we're gonna remove it.
Maybe we should have you pair yours up for real, Jack.
Do it.
Okay, so for an iPhone, you're going to go into your settings,
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
What you're looking for is DNX 570TR. There it is.
Where did you see DNX?
Right there.
Oh, gotcha.
It's the model number of the radio. Pair. Pair. So now it's connecting. There is your iPhone. And now it's currently syncing all of your music and everything up with it. It'll take a little bit to do, but it'll sync up like your contacts, your call history and everything. So it'll do that there.
Can you have more than one phone connected?
Yeah. You can have more than one phone paired, but connected, no. Only one phone is ever the active phone.
Okay,
Right.
that'll be yours, Jack.
Did you want to do yours?
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
You should label what that
I
phone
want
is.
to use and turn it on.
Okay.
Alright, so if I wanted to use her phone,
I just didn't name mine.
I turn it on here, and then her phone is the active phone. So it's the only one that the radio is going to acknowledge. Even though your Bluetooth is still on and hers is on, hers is active with the radio.
Mine should be connected now.
So right now everything is all set up with Jack, so he's the main one now.
That's good.
So if we wanted to switch it, all we gotta do is turn you on, go back, and now when people call you, you'll be the one that's being used with the radio as far as the phone goes. So that's all you gotta do.
Right, and when a phone message comes in, how do you answer?
There'll be a little button on the screen you just push.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Alright. So, back to your menu, your navigation, this is what we need here. Of course, we're always going to agree. Currently, it defaults setting you in car mode, so we're going to switch to an RV. Save. And then, of course, one more time we have to agree. Oh, we don't have an active profile, so we have to set one up. So, let's do that. So yes, we're going to set one up. Now, it starts off by entering the gross vehicle weight in tons. Well, that's where the sales brochure is going to come in real handy. So, darn, it's listing it in pounds. So, you're going to go underneath units, and switch it over to pounds. Save. And combined cargo carrying weight, you have the 38QBA. So that is 33,000 pounds. Next, the height in feet. Alright, well, we're in luck. Overall height with roof is 12 feet 10 inches. 12? 10 inches. Next, enter the width in feet. Alright, well, it listed in inches in here, so we're going to change it. It's 101. Overall length in inches. Oh boy. That's 38 feet 9 inches. So again, we're going to change our units. It was 38 feet 9 inches. Now you get to name it.
What do
Garen. G-U-E-R-I-N.
G-U-E-R-I-N. So then it just asks you to review all of your information. You hit done.
It's the Garen Mobile.
And now it works identical to a Garmin GPS. But now it'll obey all the restrictions and everything that this vehicle will have to follow, so it should not guide you into any low bridges or anything like that.
Please drive to highlighted route.
Okay. We're going to browse the cameras manually. So there's a left, there's a right, and there's the AV screen, which is also what this AV button takes you to, auxiliary video input. There's two wires hanging underneath the dash somewhere. They're yellow and they're white. Same thing you'd use to plug a DVD player into the back of your TV kind of thing. And you can actually hook up another video type device to this monitor. Then back to your backup camera. Your backup camera has a microphone on it. Well, that's the noise we're hearing off the just general background noise outside right now. So you can hear all the directions people give you as you back up the coach, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
So every time you're back there yelling, "Your other left, you idiot, you're going to hit the tree," it can hear you.
So you don't swear or say anything bad.
Yeah. But she can't hear you, so have fun with that.
Oh, she hears me. She's a lip reader.
Yeah. And then, of course, if this is too big of a distraction, you can also just shut it off in standby mode, and if you hit the blinker, the camera still shows up. It's just on a little bit of a delay. Okay. Cruise controls on the turn signal here. And you've got your headlights. Parking brake is right here. Pull to apply, push to release, because that's park for you. Okay. Transmission selector, just D for drive, R for reverse, nice and easy. The mode button is the same thing as like a tow haul button on like your gas coach, changing the shift points and then transmission for fuel economy when towing. Alright. The red switch here, that's for the heat for the mirrors. Your top mirrors are heated, not the bottom ones. And then you have your mirror adjust. We have that there. Air horn on off switch. Yeah.
Man, that'll blast somebody out of the way.
Yep. Now it's just a regular horn.
I'd put that air horn right back on.
Alright, it is on.
Good.
So, exhaust brake on off switch. That's just going to use the exhaust from the engine to help slow the coach down. ICC flash, it's just your courtesy flash letting people know it's safe to pass in front of you. And then we have your leveling system. Now, your leveling system, they recommend you do with the engine running.
Right.
And currently, this word travel mode, there's a green light above it that's lit up green. So there's just a light lit up above that. Sorry, Jack. All you're going to need to do is push the auto level button and just be patient and let it do its thing. You got to be in park and have the parking brake set, otherwise it doesn't work.
Right.
It can be done with the slides out, but it's recommended that it's done with the slides in. So pull into the campground, drop your jacks, level the coach, then bring your slides out and get everything hooked up. Alright? We're going to do it with the slides out though. Push and hold for a second, let go. Down goes your airbag suspension. And now we just play the waiting game. It's going to get really loud and beeping here in a minute. That's because the key is in the on position and the jacks are in the down position. Because I can still put this in drive and step on the gas pedal and ruin your jack system. Which I would never do to you guys.
I have something more for you to put on your list.
Okay.
This seatbelt holder needs tight. They're full.
Okay. So the red lights in the corner indicate where the jacks are down. Okay. And then the sometimes in between the two red lights will be an orange light. That will be telling you that that is where the unit is off level. How do you know when you're done? The light flashing above the word auto level in the picture there stops blinking. So now we're done. To bring the jacks up, auto store, and then the jacks are going to come back up. that will still flash at you for approximately 2 minutes after the jacks have completed coming up, according to the touch panel here, just to make sure that they did in fact come up and that it is allowed enough time to come up completely. And of course the cancel button stops it doing whatever it's doing.
And we are in travel mode.
And travel mode's lit up again. Excess slope at the top, that's just going to light up if you try and level the coach, and it cannot do it. It cannot find a sense of level. It might be the ground you're on, it might be you're on a little bit of an incline. That's when you're going to run into that there. Okay? Alright. Any other questions? Okay. Well, you guys are all set then.
What's the joystick in the center of the dash?
Oh, the joystick in the center of the dash. That browses through your little pre-trip checklist. So, you can go down. If you go to the right, you're checking off that you have checked this.
Alright.
Engine maintenance, of course we've checked that. Antenna's down, it doesn't have to go up, so that's checked, that's good. Did we disconnect the power? No, we didn't, so we're going to go back and do that. I forgot that. Like, it's just a little reminder there. To bypass it, just go over to the left, and there's your odometer, distance that the unit's traveled, speedometer. Or,
So if I wanted to reset my trip odometer, I would do what?
Go over towards the left, and then it says yes. Hold this for 3 seconds. So just reset. Okay. The other thing too is if you have an air leak for your brakes or your that will lock up your brakes, and it will not allow you to move the coach until you get it fixed. So that way you don't drive down the road and with no brakes. It's not going to
air holds the brakes off.
Yeah, it's just not going to lock them up right then and there. It's going to slow the coach down so that way your brakes are active. That way you don't get into an accident or a crash and stuff like that.